How you doing? How's your family doing? I hope that everybody's in a good space. Change of season isn't getting you too badly, and that you're holding it all together because it's been a long haul and it's still going to be a long haul. With the relaxing of lockdown restrictions tomorrow, I think a lot of people are very excited at the prospect of being able to order in food, to go to the shops and get certain products that previously you couldn't get. Some people can return to work. We can exercise. It's been quite funny to see how many people are in the need of exercise. I spoke to somebody yesterday who's 90 years old, and he said that he has been doing a walk every single day in his complex. And I spoke to somebody else who said he gets up to 2 kilometers every day in his own complex. So it can be done, right? Can be done. But I think we're happy to have the opportunity to step out. Hopefully people will be responsible, not use it as an excuse to congregate or to do things that just simply are not smart. We do know that our coronavirus numbers went up quite dramatically yesterday. So let's really, really be careful at this time. Now, I know that you find these messages very upbeat and very positive. Maybe this one's not going to be as popular, but I have to share with you something that I've been thinking. And that is, during the course of the lockdown, we've all had to scale back on a whole lot of things. We can't get what we normally get. We can't spend as we normally spend. There's concern about cash flow. There's concern about the future. We haven't been able to have simchos. So all of that is in question. What is a simcha? What does it take to make a simcha? We have to rethink whether or not we'll have a school holiday in July and if we'll be able to go anywhere, maybe even December. You saw Graham Codrington's video about rethinking your December plans, travel plans. So I think all of this is actually quite healthy because here at a time where we're thinking about essential items, because that's officially all we can buy right now, it's a good opportunity to think about what is essential. What do we really need? Is it possible that maybe we're living a little bit more extravagantly than we need to? Is it possible that we've gotten into this hamster wheel of keeping up with the Joneses in terms of what kind of simcha we put on and how much it costs us, how much it sets us back? Maybe there's really nice places locally that are not over the top expensive where we can get away with our families. I just think that this is a great opportunity for us to think. There's a lot of talk about how it's going to be afterwards. And is life going to go back to normal, or are we going to do things differently? In the same way as we're rethinking whether we have to be in an office or we could work from home and maybe save time on the commute and petrol costs, and perhaps there are other things that we are rethinking in terms of how we have to do things going forward, I think it'd be a healthy conversation for each of us to have with ourselves. Do we have to have the same level of extravagance in our lives as we've become used to? Yes, of course. Some of us, thank God, are blessed to be able to afford it. Some of us probably feel pressured that we have to do it because that's now the social expectation. But who says? I spoke to somebody this week and they had their grandson's bris. Their tradition in their family is that they sponsor the brises for all of their grandchildren. And they do so happily. But the fact of the matter is that this week the bris cost 400 Rand because all they needed to do was pick up a tray of bagels from Bagel Zone. And it got them thinking, why is it necessary to be so fancy for every occasion? Is it possible to celebrate? I don't know about you, but one of the things we've been doing is looking at old family videos because you've got time in your hands and the whole family is sitting together. And we looked at the video of my younger brother's Opshenish when he turned 3 years old. And my kids were blown away. The whole thing happened in my parents' lounge and dining room. The food was homemade. The music was a cassette tape playing in the background. Not one person was on a device because they didn't exist in those days. My kids were gobsmacked. They couldn't believe how Hamish it was, how real it was, how people interacted, how one of the kids went over to the piano and just randomly started to play the piano. And that was the simcha. Wouldn't it be wonderful if we could reclaim some of that, some of the real connection, some of the real value, instead of just the value that money can buy? I really think we've got a great opportunity right now to reset where our money goes, how much money we have to spend, and just maybe to live a little bit simpler. I think it could be good for all of us. So something to think about. I'd love to hear your feedback. And until then, stay safe and stay sane.